Welcome to Squid Game IT Edition. This is the first challenge. This game is called Ethernet or Eternity. The game objectives are: by the end of the lesson, the student should be able to identify the tools needed in crossover and straight-through color coding, B. Illustrate the steps in crimping Ethernet cable, and C. Demonstrate the proper use of crimper. Good luck, players.
How can I solve this? It looks familiar, but I can't remember it. I'm so terrified. I need to calm myself so that I can remember. I can think properly. The discussion of PSA 2A about eternal cables. Yes, I'm right. I need to focus so that I can remember it.
What is crossover cable? A crossover cable is a type of cable installation that is used for the interconnection of two similar devices. It is enabled by reversing the transmission and receiving pins at both ends, so that output from one computer becomes input to the other, and vice versa. The computer cable is generally implemented on a twisted pair cable that consists of 4 pairs of cables. For crossover cable to work, both ends should follow the same wiring format. And this is what the crossover cable coding diagram. By looking at a T568A UTP Ethernet straight-through cable and an Ethernet crossover cable with a T568B end, we see that the TX or transmitter pins are connected to the corresponding RX or receiver, plus to plus and minus to minus. You can also see that both the blue and brown wire pairs on pins 4, 5, 7, and 8 are not used in either standard. What you may not realize is that these same pins 4, 5, 7, and 8 are not used or required in 100 base TX as well. Well, for one thing, it's simply easier to make a connection with all the wires grouped together. Otherwise, you'll be spending time trying to fit those tiny little wires into each of the corresponding holes in the RJ45 connector.
So first, what is a straight-through cable? A straight-through cable is a type of twisted pair cable that is used in local area network to connect computer to a network hub such as a router. This type of cable is also sometimes called a patch cable and is an alternative to wireless connections where one or more computers access a router through a wireless signal. On a straight-through cable, the wired pins match, while in a crossover cables, the pins are typically reversed. As you can see the diagram, this cable type has identical wiring on both ends. Pin 1 on one end of the cable is connected to pin 1 at the other end of the cable. Pin 2 is connected to pin 2. Pin 3 is connected to pin 3. Pin 4 is connected to pin 4. Pin 5 is connected to pin 5, etc.
This is a Ethernet cable. Ethernet cables are used to provide an internet connection, connect devices to a local network. They plug into Ethernet ports on a variety of devices. The most common use for an Ethernet cable is connecting a Wi-Fi router or modem to the internet entry port or telephone line. This is a RJ45 connector. The 8-pin RJ45 connector is a standardized interface which often connects a computer to a local area network or LAN. This type of connector was originally developed for telephone communications but is now used in a range of applications. This is a stripping tool. A stripping tool is a portable handled tool used by workers, especially electricians, for removing the protective coating of an electric wire in order to replace or repair the wire. It is also capable of stripping the end portions of an electric wire in order to connect them to the other wires or to terminals.
Cutting tool or wire cutter are commonly used to cut copper, brass, iron, aluminum, and steel wire. Some wire cutters have insulated handles which ensure that you will not get shocked from the wires you're working with. Crimping tool is a varied collection of devices used to join materials or components by pressing them together and creating a seal or crimp. One of the most common uses of crimping tools is the attachment of connectors to the end of electrical cables. Cable tester is an electronic device used to verify the electrical connections in a signal cable or other wired assembly. Basic cable testers are continuity testers that verify the existence of a conductive path between ends of the cable and verify the correct wiring of connectors on the cable.
Here are the guidelines in making the two important Ethernet cable. The first thing that you need to do is to cut into the plastic sheet 1 inch from the end of the cut cable. The crimping tool has a razor blade that will do the trick with practice. Second, unwind and pair similar colors. Third, pinch the wires between your fingers and straighten them out as shown. The color order is important to do this correctly.
Number 4. Use a wire cutter to make a straight cut across the wires, 1/2 each from the cut sleeve to the end of the wires. Number 5. Push the wires into the connector. Each wire fits into a slot in the RJ45 connector. Note the position of the blue plastic shielding. Also, note how the wires go all the way to the end. Number 6. Take a view from the top. Make sure the wires are all the way in. There should be no short wires.
Hold the RJ45 connector and cable carefully and place it in the RJ45 connector tightening area of the crimping tool. We tighten the crimping tool to ensure that the pins on the connector are jammed and the cable strand is beaten by them. Visually check the pins and the connector if its foot is fitted. Do the same on the other end of the cable. Take note, for standard straight through cable, repeat all the steps and wire color order on the other end of the cable. For a crossover cable, the other end will have a different color order as shown by the crossover picture a while ago.
Let's check if you did it right.
I knew it! It is because I listened to my classmate discussion during online class. Thanks to them, I saved my life.
05523 pass the elimination round.